room. It was a Stevie Wonder song, and it was just me singing it.
What was the Stevie Wonder song?
It's called Love's in Need, of Songs in the Key of Life.
Oh, yeah.
And it was just me on this little tape, you know. And, yeah, you know, he said, sing it for me. So I had to sing it, and then he said, right, you know, OK, I want to manage you.
Right. Actually, it's funny because when you say Stevie Wonder, and you talk about Manchester, and you talk about Liverpool, and you talk about, say, even more north, Sheffield and places like that, I can never, ever quite get over the influence of black and soul music.
Yeah.
That's still, I mean, in the clubs and that, they just love it, don't they?
Yeah, definitely. Well, when I was growing up, I had one sister who was a little older than me, and when I was growing up, she would always play that kind of stuff around the house. So I was used to it from an early age, like Diana Ross and Stevie Wonder, and even weird stuff like Talking Heads and, you know, just stuff for a little kid that I wouldn't normally hear. So I was around good music, so it influenced me a lot, I think.
The album is Instinct.
It is, yep.
And it's a bloody good album. I mean, now, I didn't realise that most of this was done in Italy.
Oh, the album we did it. Yeah, we recorded the whole album in Italy.
Why in Italy?
Well, I could lie to you, Molly, and say that it's because, you know, we just happened to do it. Basically, the guys who produced it was Absolute. The album they did before this was Spice World, so they were loaded, they were minted, so they had to go in tax exile. Right. So we went out of the country to record it.
You shouldn't have said that.
That was a secret.
My God, I just thought they like lasagna or something like that. All right. Well, I mean, I'll tell you what, we'll dedicate this single, the current single, to obviously the tax man in England, waiting for those people to come back. It's simply called Will You Wait For Me? Right, there it is, Will You Wait For Me, the current single off the Instinct album. Going back to sort of being by yourself, a couple of weeks ago I did an interview with Jerry Halliwell.
Right.
And I was saying to Jerry how was it scary for her of having to leave the Spice Girls and that year of putting it all together and then going out as a solo artist, which you've never experienced, of having to have that around you at that stage. And she said it was very, very scary, you know?
Can you imagine, yeah.
For yourself, I mean, do you have the want now to put a whole band together?
I think so, yeah. I mean, like you say, for me, it's been the reverse.
You've got 2 albums now, you know?
2 albums now, yeah. And I mean, I actually only feel like I'm like there, you know. There's so much more that I intend to do and hopefully will do. So I think now I'm getting a little older, and now that I'm starting to find my own sound, I think with the next album, which I'm already starting to write, I will definitely have my own band, yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, you've been like, in the last 2 or 3 weeks, you've been to all the places the drum goes to, from India to the Philippines to Bangkok.
Everywhere.
We'll talk about that in a moment. But meanwhile, let's go back to your home country. Well, we'll go there via Leah. Leah is... Did you ever imagine, in your wildest dreams, that, you know, today, not that you'll be sitting here, but you've just done you know, like, you've been to all these places throughout Asia, you know? Yeah. And I was trying to ask you before, what did you think of, you know, Manila, Bangkok, and India, you know? You know,
it's really weird because, like I say, I'm always ambitious. I always want more, you know, and I'm lucky to at 21 to have done what I've done, and still to want more. But it's funny. Last week I was doing a show I think it was in the Philippines, and I was backstage, and it was to 15,000 people, and I remember just being back. I had 5 minutes on my own, and I just thought, God, you know, this is absolutely mad. They were all shouting my name, and it's little moments like that when it hits you and you think, whenever you're a little down or you get lonely in the travelling, little things like that just keep you going, you know? Right. Yeah.
Okay, knowing that it is very lonely on the road, how do you cope with, you know, at times having to be by yourself, you know? I know you've got, you know, people around you and every studio, and you've got Ian here touring with you, etc., etc. Literally like your road manager, but when you face that stadium with 15,000 in it, and then go back to your hotel room. I mean, it can be quite scary.
You know, it's the age-old story, isn't it? It's the other side to fame. I think most people that you talk to would mention it. You know, they always say that there's always that other side. There's always a price you pay, I think, in every job. And unfortunately, in this job, loneliness, if you let it, can be the bad thing. I've come to deal with it a lot more. You know. I read, I get massive phone bills. I mean, my phone bills are ridiculous. You know, I'm always on the phone to England. But, you know, I think what keeps me going is the drive and the ambition, because it makes me think it's not going to be forever, you know.
Right.
So, yeah.
Okay, well, let's go with the single that did it all, I Can Make You Feel Good, and we'll talk more about this in a moment. Okay, back with the drum. Listen, you've got to excuse me wearing this jacket. I know it's a little bit warm in here.
I like this jacket.
You see, the reason is I'm going away for US, for 3 weeks, and this is my football jacket, right?
Well, I heard about your football team. Somebody said, you got to ask Molly about his favourite football team.
They're doing very well.
Yeah.
They're doing very well.
What's the name again?
St Kilda.
St Kilda. It's like local, is it?
It's Australia-wide, but
right,
it's I mean, I'm no saint, but the team is called the Saints.
The Saint, right.
Now, just back, I mean, like, okay, so when you're touring around as you have, and, you've had major success in the UK, Europe, and now in Asia, obviously the next market is the US. But the US at the moment, I mean, it's been quite unbelievable with All Saints, Five, having success. Obviously, the Spice Girls themselves.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been a very successful venture for English music at the moment.
Yeah, definitely.
So, what are you doing on that level?
Well, I mean, America's been probably one of the most important ones for me since day one. And a lot of people that have heard my music have always said, "When are you going to go to America and stuff?" And I think after all, I mean, I've only been around for 2 or 3 years, but I think now I'm actually ready because it's so important. You need to really dedicate time out there. And so it looks like I'm going to be, either this year or early next year. I'm going to probably do work with both albums. I'm writing with Pat Leonard in America. He did the Madonna stuff. He's hopefully going to do the next album.
He's great, actually.
He's fantastic, and I was lucky to do that. And he's really supporting me and helping me.
He's worked with a couple of famous people.
He has. He's done the new Jewel album as well, which is great. So if I can, I bet
your Jewel was better. No, nothing against Madonna. I love her.
Ouch!
I love her. Yes. No, she's one of my best friends.
Is she?
She's like a sister to me.
Wow.
Well, something.
Yeah.
All right.
But so I'm just it's important, and I'm excited, and I'm hopefully going to do it. Yeah.
All right. Well, there's one band that you must check out when you go to the US, or even when you're here. They're from Australia, and I'll give you the history of this because it's a very interesting thing where Warner Brothers here in Australia picked them up at one stage, but also the guy that discovered Madonna, Seymour Stein, who had Sire Records and is now relaunching Sire Records. This is one of his first signings, so he's done a joint deal.
Interesting. We should talk more about that.
And the group is called Taxi Ride, and I have no doubt it's already one of the most added tracks on radio in America, and it's simply called, and this is released in America before it was released here, and it's simply called Get Set. And believe it or not, as I speak on Monday night, I'll sort of be in New York somehow, and they are actually doing a big showcase in New York on Monday night, New York time. So here they are, Taxi Ride. Best of luck, fellas, with Get Set. Just blow me away. Now, just back to you in the US, and the Robbie Williams. Now, Robbie Williams, ironic enough, is now breaking in America.
Is he breaking? Yeah,
yeah, he is. And yet they always thought it was going to be the Gary Barlow, the one that would do it, Now, with Robbie, I mean, do you know Robbie? Have you met Robbie?
Yeah, I know Robbie. Yeah, I do know him.
He's a really nice guy,
He's a nice guy. He's a very nice guy, and I think it's great what happened to him. That turnaround record was Angels, and I mean, I think it's hard in England because the press and the media can be quite. They build you up to knock you down, and everyone saw Robbie fall. And in England, they seem to like people who fall, so then they can go, "Oh, our heroes, come back again." So I'm glad that he's doing it fresh to a new market where don't care about his history, like America. So that's good.
I mean, talking about Robbie, I mean, I remember one time, and this goes back about 3 years ago. After he left the Take That thing and all that had gone on, maybe not even that long, and I was in New York, and I was there to do an Oasis interview, my first, and I got there very early in the morning into this hotel, and I looked, and they have this bar that's sort of near the foyer, and I looked across, and I saw Noel sitting at the bar, and I thought, oh God, this interview's going to be a disaster, But in there was this guy that was unshaven and that, and in fact it was Robbie hanging out with Liam,
Wow.
But ironically, I think probably that was actually a good learning spear for Robbie to hang out with the Oasis guys,
Yeah, definitely.
Because it was, a totally different thing,
Different world.
What do you do to get into sort of that normal, put the feet on the ground?
Well, I'm lucky because I have some really good friends and family in Manchester who've always treated me the same. When I go home, I'm just Anthony, and. I speak to them nearly every day because it can be weird for me. I've just like a few weeks ago I was at them in Milan.
I mean, all Manchester's got one of our Australian soccer players into a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
Aston Villa's have dropped him because he's going to Manchester.
Right. But, you know, I mean, it's funny because my friends get freaked out sometimes. I just came back from a fashion show in Milan, right? And I was back at the old Gianni Versace's old apartment with dinner, you know, with the Kate Moss and Iggy Pop. And I was telling my friends, and they can't relate to it. But it's good because it makes me just be good normal again.
Kate Moss and Iggy Pop were...
Exactly, and I'm saying, and you never believe what? And then I went to the toilet and there was a Picasso on the wall. And I'm like, who?
He didn't spit on it, did he? For God's sake. I mean, that's all we've done in life.
Anyway.
He's a shocker. Look, I tell you what, let's go to the US charts. So,
okay.
Leah, let's give us the US charts. Iggy Pop and a fashion parade, please. There it is. Thanks, Leah, for the US chart this week. And I've got to say, young Cav here just went, hey, he's not number one, is he? And he is indeed number one, Ricky Martin, on the Billboard chart.
Well, I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan, actually.
Now, this is an interesting story as well because we're in this country and certainly in Europe and certainly in South America and Spain and places like that. Cup of Life, which was the World Cup song that he did, was number one almost around the world on that score. Did not break in America in any big way.
Didn't.
Nor did Maria, which was the track before Cup of Life, you know?
Right.
So they decided to do this big push this time with Ricky doing basically an English album, but still with all the Latin American influences, etc., you know. And so they said he will definitely break, you know. And look what's happened. There it is.
Happened. And I heard he's done a duet with Madonna.
In fact, we've previewed that, you know.
Wow. Is it going to be a single as well?
Because, you know, there's legal things with Madonna, you know. Which we must get on to about you and Lulu in a moment, all right?
Yeah, okay.
But let's go. But just before that, I mean, Latin American. I mean, I've got to say, because Peter Andre used to be on my record label, and I used to say to Peter way back, for God's sake, learn Spanish and get into that Latin American feel, you know? Are you doing that?
Well, we've been to Spain. The album's gone top 10 in Spain already, which is great. Special Kind of Something, which was the first track, is very... it's got a bit of flamenco touch, and it was a big hit out there, so I'm going to go back in the summer.
Do those Spanish lessons.
Oh, yeah, bit of the old,
All right, let's go. You introduce it. Ricky Martin, number one. What's it called?
Living La Vida Loca. Ole!
We've just seen Ricky Martin before with...
We did. Living La Vida Loca.
Right. And Cup of Life, Maria, all of that. I mean, that whole basically Spanish, Latin American feel, I mean, is enormous, including in America. I mean, even... what was the Spice Girls song? The one that...
Fever Forever, was it? No,
Spice World, was it?
La 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 la.
Yeah. I mean, again, it has that thing, you know?
It's great.
I mean, would you think about doing remixes of your stuff? I mean, you know,
I would love to.
Kind of something in America for that?
Yeah, I would.
That would work, you know?
I haven't thought about it, and you know, you've just mentioned it, and it's got me thinking actually. So maybe I will. Yeah.
Because even when you talk about Madonna before, of recording with Ricky, and the song is very similar to you know, to that Lana Bonita thing that she did years and years ago.
Okay,
you know?
Yeah. So that sound has always been around, you know. Yeah.
Now it comes to my mate. I've got to tell you this. I went actually again to do some interviews last year, and I went to the Bee Gees concert over in Dublin.
Right.
And I was checking into the hotel very early in the morning. I seem to always check into hotels very early in the morning, and there's always a drama happening in that. And they said, no, your room's not available yet. And I was about to throw a big drama. And I go, what do you mean, what do you mean? And then suddenly I hear, and I said, what are you causing all this drama about? And it was Robbie, you know?
It was Robbie again.
And he was up going to some big festival just outside Dublin with the Verve, right? Which unfortunately, I mean, the Verve, we probably heard, and now called it a day, which I just find astonishing, you know? But, I mean, Robbie had changed so much, you know? And, I mean, he really is an amazing performer now, isn't he?
Definitely.
And very respected in England.
Yeah, he is.
Okay, now listen, we're going to go to his single, right?
Yep.
But sometimes, now, could I just have that for a moment? This is they hand me this, right?
He's been writing
and it's
down
like
all
as
through
if
the interview.
I've got my own name wrong, Molly Meldrum, but it's actually Robbie with Millennium. Let's go with it, Robbie Williams. Well, there's Robbie with his new single called...
Millennium.
That's it. Now, listen, congratulations on the album.
Thank you.
And it's a delight to talk to you.
Yeah, you too.
I wish you the luck with America.
Thank you.
And maybe the combination of both albums wouldn't hurt.
Yeah, exactly. Or maybe some new stuff with a bit of a Latin feel, you know. Who knows?
Well, with that young Patrick Leonard, I mean, anything could happen.
He's a genius.
So what happens after Australia?
Well, after Australia, I'm
it's your summer coming up.
It's summer. I'm going to take a bit of a holiday, you know, and then straight into writing the next album. And I'm going to be doing all of that in America. So,
okay.
Yeah.
I just want to tell you one thing, because when are you going back to England next week?
No. About 3 weeks, two,
3
2
weeks.
3 weeks, yeah.
Well, just prepare yourself, because Shane Warne, Steve Waugh are back in business. The Australians are going to whip everyone's ass
Okay.
for the World Cup. So go Aussie. And talking about Aussie, let's have a look at the Oz charts for this week. Thanks a lot, mate.